You see? Look, it dropped by itself. I've showed to you how this will hold me, and it will allow me to keep advancing on a vertical without holds, not proper holds here, not pegs, not rungs, not anything, only the cable. You see, I was about to let myself into a Ferrata.Bloc. This is an aiding device that might produce more harm than good when it fails. So you have to be aware of that. It can fail. It failed to me in many cases. Human error, it doesn't matter. It might not be the fault of the device. It might be my fault, but it is the same thing, the same reality. It can fail. This is the order of operations. The Via Ferrata set always underneath the Ferrata.Bloc. The Ferrata.Bloc is the first up. For the purpose of this demonstration, we did it. This is the Ferrata.Bloc. You can only use this on verticals. This is very dangerous. It is why I recommend this only to people that they have enough experience, patience and body resources, force and technique and know-how to go through the elements. With and without it, they can use it only for aiding as a precaution, and in case this disconnects from the cable, they don't fall. You see, I was about to let myself into a Ferrata.Bloc, and I was thinking, this fucker, if it snaps, I will drop. Guess what happened? It snapped into my face. Ferrata.Bloc, back in action. Woo! Hello Ferrata.Bloc. Long time since we last time worked together. Very long time. Years actually. You see? Look, it dropped by itself. This is the big disadvantage of the Ferrata.Bloc. I was climbing this vertical here. Let me show it to you like this. It is a bit overhanging, and I was saying these pegs here, they've been added, I presume, now. Without them, this segment here becomes a level E. This is not a level D. It is overhanging, it is vertical, there is almost no holds for the legs. You have to rely on the cable, on vector forces. And while doing it and saying this, I thought, this is a good opportunity to record a tutorial about the Ferrata.Bloc. I spoke in the past about it. Maybe it is about time to do it back again, right? I have the Ferrata.Bloc with me. Let me get to it in a moment. I am taking it out now. This is the Ferrata.Bloc. It has here this black side. This always has to look down. You can only use this on verticals. Well, you can use it on diagonals as well. You can use it on horizontals as well, but this is made for vertical segments like this one. I will explain to you now how this works. It has a shock absorber. In my original video, I didn't know if it has it. I couldn't see it in the online manual of a manufacturer. I spoke with them after that. We clarified it. This aiding device, this is an aiding device, has a shock absorber. This means if you fall into this, then it will absorb the shock because it has a shock absorber. And the shock absorber means the lanyard, it's stitched in a way that allows the stitches to break while falling. Now, I'm saying this is an aiding device. This is not a safety. Why? Because many times it fails. It jumps from the cable. It disconnects by itself. It can happen. You might not position it properly. It might be not under load, sitting properly, and through that will just disconnect from the cable. This is very dangerous. It is why I recommend this only to people that they have enough experience, patience and body resources, force and technique and know-how to go through the elements. With and without it, they can use it only for aiding as a precaution, and in case this disconnects from the cable, they don't fall. Let me put it here. Good. Let me move the Via Ferrata set down. This is the order of operations. Always. This is the order of operations. The Via Ferrata set always underneath the Ferrata.Bloc. The Ferrata.Bloc is the first up. Why? Because if I push from here, from above, you see, this goes down. this travels if I push from here. Let's suppose I have the Via Ferrata set. Let's suppose I lose control. This, you see, will pull down the Ferrata.Bloc as well. What this means is that the Ferrata.Bloc no longer does what it is supposed to do. What it is supposed to do is under load these brakes. You see, I'm trying to pull it down. It doesn't come. This is its objective, to brake in the middle of a segment. I'm here on the segment, not in the middle. I'm on the vertical segment, and this brakes. This doesn't go down. What this means is on Via Ferrata, you have a dead zone. The dead zone is the distance between you and the anchor, the next anchor point here. This is the anchor point, the next anchor point, where you can make the transition. You might not yet reach there. Let's suppose the Via Ferrata set carabiners are here in the middle. Let's ignore this anchor here. Let's suppose the next anchor is there. Imagine I'm here, and to get there, when I will touch with my hand there, the carabiners of the Via Ferrata set will be somewhere there. If I lose control there when I'm about to do the anchor point transition, between there, that anchor, and that anchor, excluding this, we consider this doesn't exist. There is a distance, a traveling distance, where I cannot do anything about it. Well, I can. In this case, I can put the resting system like this and always stay under tension. In this way, if I lose control, I don't fall. But let's suppose you don't have this, you only have a cable. Then if you lose control, you'll fall, and the fall factor is huge, big fall factor. To prevent that, you have the Ferrata.Bloc. And the Ferrata.Bloc, how is it working? You put it above everything, which means above your Via Ferrata set. This is your Via Ferrata set. This is the order of operations. The Ferrata.Bloc always has to be above the carabiners of the Via Ferrata set on verticals. And the way you progress is as follows. You push it to the maximum you can reach so that it makes you rest onto it. We'll do an example in a moment. So you can rest onto it, as I'm resting now onto this. And when it gets under load, then what do? You build force through vector forces of your body, with your upper body, with your legs, with everything. You build that momentum to push yourself even higher. And what even higher means? Let's suppose, again, let's ignore this anchor here. Let's say it doesn't exist. What you do is you are here, and what am I doing now? I'm pulling myself and I'm pushing this a bit up, no? And now, who's holding me? Let me do it a bit more. So now, who's holding me is the Ferrata.Bloc. I don't know if you can see, but let me check it to make sure it employed properly. But this one here now has a bit of slack. Let me do it more. You see, I'm pushing myself up. Now, who's catching me? The Ferrata.Bloc is catching me, right? And the resting system here, this now is full of slack. I can actually disconnect it because who's holding me is the Ferrata.Bloc. Good, but let me show you something else. I will show you how to do an anchor point transition with a Ferrata.Bloc on a vertical. When you are like this, you reached to the anchor, so now you can do the transition. The question is, who goes first, the Ferrata.Bloc or the carabiners of the Via Ferrata set? I will let you think for a second. Let's imagine, if we first disconnect the Ferrata.Bloc and do the transition, I'm here, this is under tension, it breaks, it holds me, right? If I'm now disconnecting this, in this moment, the right moment when I disconnect it, if I lose control, I drop. I don't want that to happen. So what I do is, I let this here, right below the anchor point, under tension. This will be somehow under tension, or like this, but enough to catch. Pay attention, if you have too much slack, like this might get out. Now, I don't know how to simulate it getting out, but it can snap, because it happened many times to me. So this should somehow be under tension, and then what you do is, when you build that momentum to launch yourself up to do a transition, you do a transition of the Via Ferrata set carabiner, one of them, not both at the same time, only one of them. And what you do is, you push yourself up, you clip this, and now in case this snaps, this will catch you. So now you are good. What should you do next? Well, now you have this here. You have this here. This worked. It is proven. Well, just move a second carabiner over Via Ferrata set. Okay, move a second. Now you made the anchor point transition. Now you can transition. Wait a moment to disentangle them. Now you can transition the Ferrata.Bloc as well, and you put it above. You put it above. Now let's transition together. Let's see if I can still show it on the camera, because I'm doing a real transition. Let me see if I can still show it to you. Yes, you can still see it. I'm disconnecting the resting. I have a resting here. And now what do? I push it. You see, I'm pushing this to keep me under tension. Now I'm under tension. I sit onto the Ferrata.Bloc. It is under tension. I pull myself up more. I'm pulling myself up more. And the first thing I'm moving now is the right hand on the cable. And what did I do? I pushed the Ferrata.Bloc under tension. I pull myself up more. I'm pulling myself up more. And the first thing I'm moving now is the right hand on the cable. And what did I do? I pushed the Ferrata.Bloc so that it can be under tension. And what I'm doing now is sitting. Look at my legs. So you see, I'm floating. What I'm doing now is sitting. Look at my legs. So you see, I'm floating. I'm floating into the Ferrata.Bloc. Of course, I'm not trusting it that much because it snapped so many times. So what I will do is I will hold with my hand here. And of course, instead of recording as I'm doing now with the other hand, I will dearly hold onto the cable or holds or whatever. I will I will pray for my life and fight for survival. This is what I will do. Now, the Ferrata.Bloc holds me. You see, the Via Ferrata set carabiners are below it. It is the right sequence of operation. What do I do now? Let's try to climb this without the pegs. So without the pegs, what did I do? I pushed myself. You'll see it on the 360 camera because it is recording, if I'm right. Yes, it is recording. I pushed myself a bit more, and now what am I doing? I push myself even more. Good. Now look at the Ferrata.Bloc. Can you see it? It is there. Now look at the Via Ferrata set. It is very low now. But now the Ferrata.Bloc holds me enough for me to do the transition. So let's do the transition. I will use the pegs because I don't know how to record. Let's hope the 360 camera will catch everything. Okay. So you will see my face on this camera, and what I will do normally on a vertical like this, I pull myself like this up. I've done the transition. I'm moving this to make sure it still holds me because I don't want to fall. And I've done the transition. So now I've done the transition. Look at me how I'm sitting. I've done the transition. The Ferrata.Bloc is still holding me under tension, so I'm not using that much upper body force. I'm only using a bit because I'm struggling for survival, right? But not that much. Now the Via Ferrata set, you see it. It is properly transitioned. Let's transition the Ferrata.Bloc now. Oh, I'm pulling myself overhanging up. I push the Ferrata.Bloc. Look what I did. I pushed it high enough to be under tension. So now I've done the transition. Let me do like this. So I've done the transition. I've transitioned with the Via Ferrata set. I'm above the anchor, and I've transitioned the Ferrata.Bloc as well. This is the right order of operations. If I would have not had these pegs here, it is full of them. It is extremely easy with them. If I would have not had them, I would have used the Ferrata.Bloc in case my upper body was tired and my grip wasn't enough to allow me to progress without aiding. Remember, the Ferrata.Bloc, which holds me now in a resting position. Don't believe me? Look at the cable, how it squeezes the cable. Look, okay, and look at my legs. I'm not doing anything, you see? Look, okay, and look at my legs. I'm not doing anything, you see? I'm not doing anything. It holds me. I'm relying on it. I'm resting onto it. We don't want to stress the cable that much unnecessarily because we have other climbers climbing as well, right? So let's not stress it. For the purpose of this demonstration, we did it. And I've showed to you how this will hold me. And it will allow me to keep advancing on a vertical without holds, not proper holds here, not pegs, not rungs, not anything, only the cable. If your upper body gives up, if your grip gives up, if it is too overhanging, whatever might happen there, with the Ferrata.Bloc, you can get yourself out of that situation. Now, remember, this is not an attempt, I have to change them, they had enough. This is not an attempt to pick on Ferrata.Bloc. I love Ferrata.Bloc. It is me making you aware of its limitations. This is an aiding device that might produce more harm than good when it fails. So you have to be aware of that. It can fail. It failed to me in many cases. Human error, it doesn't matter. It might not be the fault of the device. It might be my fault. But it is the same thing, the same reality. It can fail. And because that is a probability, imagine if it fails on a vertical and you are almost there in the dead zone, upper part of it, you are up there on the upper part of a dead zone, the fall factor is huge, and you might rely on the Ferrata.Bloc. You might say, oh, it catches me, not a problem. It snaps because you made an error when connecting it, or you are making an error in the way you keep it or you put it under load. It snaps and now you drop. Human error, not necessarily the device. The device, let's say it differently, the device has limitations, and that's okay. You have to buy it aware of the limitations and understand its advantages and the complexities of how to use it. I hope this helps you.